This call is from a person currently in a prison in England. All calls are logged and recorded and may be listened to by a member of prison staff. If you do not wish to accept this call, please hang up now.
Day 2, HMP Thameside. I woke up for social in the morning. Social is just social activity. You're just out on the wing, just socialising with people, I suppose. Leaving my cell, standing just outside, looking around. I met my neighbour, who seemed friendly and genuine enough. It was them who told me this is a wing for drug addicts, which is evident by the fact that half the wing was queuing up for a variety of concoctions that had clearly taken a toll on their health, appearance and mannerisms. Over the day, they would approach me and others begging to get a hit of my vape, or trade a cap for one of their diazepams, amphetamines, or at least on one occasion, their TV. So a cap is like the top end of a vape, and prisoners get 3 of them in a pack. That's what a cap is. And people were literally saying, have you got a cap and I'll give you my TV, which is nuts, obviously. It's not worth it to me, but you know. So I wouldn't be so surprised if they became so confident and natural as they insistently pleaded to trade or have a toke while homeless outside. This explained the lack of cleanliness everywhere. Everybody is just high as a kite. It turned out the only CMS, this is like a kiosk to set up your food menu, you read your emails, add phone numbers to the system, etc. This kiosk was in one prisoner's pad, like in the whole wing, bizarrely. Weekends were also their day off. Being that it was a Sunday, I have to wait until tomorrow to do what should be able to be done on various kiosks stationed around the wing any day of the week in other prisons, such as check my emails to hear from my solicitor, update them, get my mum's phone number, and set up my food menu, as was my intention. Upon this letdown, I went to the office and said, can I get some OLs? He said, what? I repeated, same again, as like letters, envelope and papers, please. And it was to write this. In fact, he said, don't have any, I'll pick some up today, I was told. I wondered, do people here not regularly send letters? Most people don't even have a phone. So I would mingle with Ahmed, speaking to others while we were on social as well, both addicts and people who just seemed quiet. Ahmed had their own unique introduction by way of their cell, causing them to sleep mattressless. But that's a story for them to tell. It wouldn't be right for me to say. So after social and dinner, with nothing to do, I went to sleep. Oh, by the way, everybody, I say dinner and tea time. Yeah, so depending on where you are in the country, this might be different. Dinner is the meal that you eat around midday, and tea is what you have around 5 p.m. Some people might say dinner and lunch, but I don't know, that's incorrect. I don't know how they say it, but obviously in Liverpool we say dinner and then tea. So after dinner, I had nothing to do, I went to sleep. In my dreams, I was with 3 of my comrades travelling as I bragged on a Merseyrail train how Liverpool's trains and stations are the best they are. Just as we actually started having fun in the dream, I woke up to Middlesbrough. Repeated, Mr. Middlesbrough, are you religious? I tried to wave them away, disinterested in the religious services he was trying to offer me. And he said, just going to ignore me, are you? And I was like, bro, I've literally just woke up. What? As I sat up, put my glasses on to the face I could only see through a rectangle of my cell door's window. 30 seconds later, 15 of those were spent asking each other what, due to both speaking in different heavy accents that we weren't used to. He left, and I thought, what the hell was the point in that? After I re-answered, all it did was re-answer 4 questions that had already been asked on arrival. So anyway, I started drifting back asleep, wishing I was where I was up to in my dream with my friends. I pondered the timing of this rude awakening in relation to where I was in my dream, and if it meant anything. The next time I was let out was for yard/exercise. So this is shortly before tea time, maybe around 3, or it was around 3:30, 4:45. During this time, I went to the office for paper. I got 3 pieces and asked for a pen. There wasn't one to give. So I took the paper back to my cell, wondering what the heck. I genuinely believe this wing has so little of everything because neither the screws or the prisoners care. Almost every prisoner is fixated on getting some kind of buzz. I've been asked by no less than 50% of the wing to get a hit of me vape. It doesn't even do anything, just getting a hit, just having a few totes of a vape, it doesn't do anything yet. Literally half the wing are asking me every minute or so, or even less than that. People ask, it was nuts. So they get told no, of course. Even after these and this is so annoying as well, they'd spend 5 minutes speaking to me, and then just to ask to have a go at me vape. Like, they literally sit down, go through a life story, and then just go, oh, by the way, can I have a go at your vape? And then you just say no, and then walk away after acknowledging that they weren't getting a go. So it was ridiculous. It was honestly frustratingly shameful, to be honest. But it's not for me to judge. But that's definitely how I felt at the time. Ahmed wanted to go on yard with the others, but within 10 minutes, the door to the outside was already locked. I witnessed them ringing the buzzer for a screw to open the door to get out into the yard, with nearly an hour left for exercise. But obviously, nobody came to open the door until it was time to let those who were locked out back in. I spotted a lad with a pen and paper in his hand and asked him where he got the pen. He told me they're hard to get, but that he thinks he's got a spare. So with follow me, I walked to his pad, waited outside as he rummaged through his pad, when after a couple of minutes, found and handed me the one that I'm writing with now. Thank you, bro. Really appreciate it. Knowing that I could document my experience and had this to at least pass some time, I was really pleased. Like, he's actually so cool. Honestly, prisons not only maintain the prisons and labour for them, but they help each other out more than the wage slaves do for each other outside, the ones working retail, etc. I used an uncle's kettle to have a cup of tea. I wasn't given any coffee, as the uncle came in at the same time as us. And he wasn't the type to try and profit from my request either. They have a TV, a phone, and a kettle in their pad, presumably because their padmate had been there long enough to appropriate them from when that person left the wing. Then it was tea time. Couscous with raisins covered in a scoop of gravy with new potatoes. The most bizarre combination I've seen or ever had before. I think they named couscous twice, not because it was so nice, but as a warning. I left at least half of it. And oh yeah, earlier for dinner I got a cup of soup with a burger bun, but without a kettle to make the soup. I still have the sachet. This actually happened for some time. You just get soup and there'd be no kettles to even make it. I and another brother in the wing supported Ahmed as they were becoming vexed at the company we were keeping, effectively fiends. One of which had put their arm through Ahmed's door window to unlock it from the inside, and then they were confronted. So yeah, somebody literally tried to get in Ahmed's pad while Ahmed was in the pad just chilling in that. And he had to get up, and I think it was just like, it's like, are you okay? Like, what is wrong with you, kind of thing. And I was sure that it was the same person I literally caught in my cell the day before and had to evict. There's somebody in my cell. I was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing in here? I was like, get out. And then, like, he was just trying to act like fucking lost, and I was like, psh. But anyway, that person had one side of their face swollen. I presume because somebody had smacked them for being cheating previously. Like, I don't judge them. I judge the society that guarantees people like this will emerge sick, shameless, and addicted. It's fascinating to me that I should be here on a drug ring after reading 250 plus pages of a book called Addict while I was in Manchester counter-terrorism custody. The supposed true story of a well-off individual criminal and multi-million-pound business owner who lost everything, becoming homeless due to being addicted to amphetamines. They were also based in London. I had to skip to the end though, because I knew that I couldn't have time to finish it, but it turns out that they got their life back after reverting to Islam. There is nothing for these people but a prison industrial complex who profits off their imprisonment, as their prison pays for the drugs that will compel them to behave like fiends and take their life away. I started speaking to one lad who tried swapping a cap for a tablet of diazepam. Obviously, despite their dozen or so sale pitches to me and asking if I even smoke spice, trying to get me to smoke spice for a cap. Anyway, I did let them hit me vape for 10 minutes in exchange of charging my vape. Of course, I couldn't charge it myself. After speaking to a few more people, I was locked up again. But this time, I could begin writing my diary. I got a shower, fresh clothes, a bowl of Rice Krispies, brushed my teeth, and waited for a break in the various sounds of fire alarms, shouting, banging the doors, and a loud burst of the extractor before I could calm my mind to sleep, before being waken up for social the next day, where my door would be open for 2 hours. I don't remember my dreams.
Thank you for tuning in to Diary of a Political Prisoner. What was a short list for you was a period of time in prison for me. So please make sure that you subscribe on whatever podcast player you're listening on to be notified of future episodes. Each episode was recorded in a prison cell as I'm held on remand for allegedly being involved in a Palestine action to disrupt and destroy weapons in a genocidal Israeli arms factory under Section 5 of the Terrorism Act. My diary is a podcast only to give you something in the hope that you can give help and support to my mum and son, which I can't do by any other means from prison. In supporting them, for £5 a month, you can get a week's worth of episodes in advance every Monday. For £10 a month, you'll get the week's worth of episodes. Plus, I'll respond to any question you have in a monthly question and answer episode on my Patreon. That's patreon.com/politicalprisonerpod. For £25 a month, our humanitarian aid tier, you get all of the above while knowing my little boy is supported and happy. One-time donations can be made by emailing or messaging my producer on social media. Media/collaboration inquiries are on the same line as senders and inbox. If you can't support me family in my absence, please follow the podcast on Instagram if you're going to be listening. Please follow on Twitter, all of our socials. Our handle is Diary Pol Prisoner. Please share them and this podcast with your friends. It's free to do and it helps this project grow. You can also send me a prisoner email or letters, drawings, anything like that. Links to everything mentioned can be found in the podcast description below. Thank you, love and solidarity.